Second session of the day. Smashing it! Come on, guys. I just read today that I'm supposed to be coming out of retirement. That's news to me. As far as I'm concerned, I'm staying.
Ooh, what's good, family? Shout out to the General Louis B for boosting up your man the YB coin. So we just heard there from your mans, Tyson. Oh, Fury flip-flopperooning on his fake news retirement. And to be honest, you know what? Your man the YB got some plans in the near future. You best believe it as well. And you also best believe it's got nothing to do with this dead-ass game boxing. Yeah? I've been doing some little bit of thinking laterally and about the whole boxing landscape. And realistically, yeah, UK boxing's actually dead, you know. This is what it's come to. And it's so sad because I remember when the whole Tyson Fury retirement show was kind of part of a wider narrative. For example, we had AJ was champion, and we had White, who was implied to be the number 3 guy who was probably going to knock Wilder out and probably going to knock Fury out. See what I'm trying to say? There was a number of other narratives, and Fury's retirement was just one of them. And in fact, Fury's retirement was not only one of them, it was one of the bottom 10. Yeah, that's how buzzing British boxing was. Like I said, we had AJ, he was doing his thing, and there was a whole... And in fact, even Wilder came into that to some extent. Even though Wilder's part of the American scene, Wilder was dragged in, wasn't it? It was Fury versus Wilder, it was AJ versus Wilder for a while, and it was Wilder versus White, and it was all that mix-up. It was all popping. Now, we know life does go in cycles, but you best believe this UK boxing cycle has come to a peak end, and this is what it's come to. Yeah, days of nothing going on. We've got the useless weightlifter Mr. Johnston. God knows what he's doing. He's somewhere, you know what I mean? He's somewhere doing God knows what with his trainer on the down low. You best believe it, Mr. Angel. Yeah, I mean, I'm being funny. Anyone called Angel for me is sus. Any Don called Angel, you're sus to me. Simple as that, and give F what no one says. If you're a man and you know, listen, the only thing I know called Angel is a chick for sure. Or better yet, a chick panani. I called it Angel, 100%. That's what you best call it. Yeah? Only thing, listen, there ain't nothing about a man called an angel, in my opinion. Only females can be angels. Anyway, listen. Like I was saying, the scene was popping a few years ago. Popping off. You just couldn't... I remember at one point having videos coming out of my ear holes because you didn't know... You weren't sure what to cover next. Like 5 videos a day. Everything was popping. Literally, because of time constraints or whatever, you'd have to pick the best 2 and move on and forget about the rest. Today, I mean, in fact, this week, it's been, Bob ARUM says Tyson Fury's waiting for the AJ versus Wilder day, AJ versus Usyk to pick the winner, which was good news. I mean, really, that's what we all know anyway. And then obviously today, 4 days later, Fury comes out, I've heard I'm coming out of my retirement, I'm happy. It's dead. It's played out. I had some goober in my comment section tell me, YB, change the tune. Stop making the same videos. Listen, I'm about to start making the same videos. Do you think it's fun for me? But what else is going on? Go on, tell me. Tell me, UK boxing scene. What else is going on? Go on, tell me what. Yeah? Okay, Joe Cordina, smoked, bum gowers back for him. Bum ass, no chin having ass dude. Yeah, that's fair play, but listen... And yeah, I guess I was about to say the guy's a bum, which he was a bum, but still, that was a World Championship fight to his credit. I was about to put Joe Cordina's win in the same bucket as Conor Benn, but it does feel similar. I don't know why. Probably because them them smaller cats don't have the notoriety. But really, for me, Cordina versus Stevenson, I guess that's a big thing, relatively speaking. But still, it don't have your nips tingling, does it? Again, I remember a few years ago, the heavyweight boxing scene, every day I'd wake up and my nips would be tingling. Yeah, 100%. Because a whole bunch of things was going on. And really, on a bad day, it would be, Fury's retirement. And if anything, we take the mick out of it. No, he's capping, pure cap. But that's what it's become. And this is why I feel, I really do feel Tyson Fury, and that's why I do give AJ credit. Because AJ didn't play these kind of games, even though he's no good. Listen, there's no doubt about it. I've told you before. AJ will go down in history as one of the best bodybuilders of all time. But as far as the boxing game goes, he don't know nothing about it. However, even though he know nothing about boxing, even though he is the #1 weight pumper of all time, yeah, to his credit, when he was in the game, he kept the train going in as much as... Now, in fact, let me say this now. Yeah, to be fair to AJ, to be fair to myself or to the world, AJ loved coin, so he wasn't keeping the boxing train going because of some altruistic reason. He was doing it for his damn bank balance, as we know now. But either way, from an outsider's point of view, well, from an outsider with all the inside links point of view, like the YB, guess what? It wasn't every day having this battle of, I'm not in the sport, I'm not out the sport. AJ would say, listen, I'm training and I want the best, back to back to back to back. I'm going for undisputed. Yeah? AJ wanted Wilder. In fact, AJ was trying to negotiate the Wilder or Fury fight. That's part of the reason he lost to Ruiz. I remember 2 nights before he got in the ring with Ruiz, he put a video out begging Wilder and Fury to fight. That's a fact. Yeah? And Wilder and Fury came out and said, no, we're going to fight 8 times. That's actually what happened. Bottom line. And that's all them kind of things there we do have to give. Yes, AJ's a useless weight pumper, but still, I do respect him from that point of view. Yeah, he is prepared to fight, even though you know he's going to lose, but still, even though he's got no intention of winning, even though he's only turning up to get filled in for some coin, whether he gets filled in or not, at least he was prepared to give us the best one. To give us the best fights, regardless of whether he had any intention of winning them. Clearly, AJ had no intention of winning. AJ wanted to get in the ring with Wilder for 200 million to make 200 million and jump on the floor. That's what the bottom line is, people. I've told you before, today's era in 2022, or for the last 10 years, has been, if you can win easy, you win easy. If you can lose easy, you lose easy. Yeah, no one wants to win hard, and no one wants to lose hard. Do you understand that? It's all about whatever you do, make sure it's easy. If you win, it must be easy. If you lose, it must be easy. No one really wants to do what Wilder tried to do. And Wilder lost hard. Castaño versus Jamel Charlo lost hard. Yeah? Those are the examples. How many... there's a reason I can give you 2 examples in the last 5 years. Give me examples of fights, yeah, where Dons have turned up and put all their chips in. You don't hear about them ones. That's what you don't hear about. Even Mr. Johnson, the last time he did that was against Vlad. And even then, he should have never been going life and death with Vlad. But that's here or there. The point is, people, I've been going the long way around this, but I do have to give AJ credit to some extent, because this whole thing with Fury is killing the vibe for me. Yeah, it killed it when, let's not forget, people, when AJ fought Dillian White, and I believe even to this day, if AJ and White were to fight, well, I'm not sure actually, but in principle, I'd like to think they'd still have some bad blood. I'd like to think AJ wouldn't have, if he still had his belts, I'd like to think he wouldn't give his belts to Dillian, but who knows really, these days. But still, back in 2015, before AJ was cloned or whatever, he was on this thing. He was relatively gully. As far as Mr. PR man, as far as Mr. Lucasade goes, he was pretty on this thing, wasn't he? Yeah. Tyson Fury, his skills are getting better every time, and it's almost like Fury's trash talk is inversely correlated with his skills. Back then, in my opinion, he had less skills. Back 5 years ago or 10 years ago, when him and Hay were going at it, that was some of the best trash talk ever. I remember, if you haven't seen it, go and watch the David Hay versus Tyson Fury ringside video. That was I've watched that probably 200 times. Proper classic roasting. 6'9", 275 pounds of inside fightingness. He told him straight, David Hay, Mr. Big Toe, what are you going to do, Mr. Big Toe, when 290 pound, 6'9" inside fightingness, making words up and shit, inside fightingness comes and lays on you and starts winging away to the body. What are you going to do, Miss David Hay? You're going to jack, because you jacked against Thompson. So again, I haven't watched that video in about 2 years, and still I can lyric off pretty much all the things he says. Why is that relevant to now? Well, it begs the question. Fury with left skill, was selling it hard 10 years ago. And yeah, he's probably matured a bit, but I don't know, this whole thing is dead, man. It's dead. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I don't like what Fury's doing with this. I don't like it. I don't like this. Oh, well, I'm actually retired. It's cringy, man. It really is cringe. Proper cringe. I don't get it. I don't get the angle here. If you're retired, drop your belt. And that's the thing. A lot of Fury Man fans have come at me saying, "Oh, YB, leave the man alone. If he wants to retire, I'm all for it." I'm all for it too. But actually retire. Drop the belt. Don't be holding on to the belt and then fronting and lying. It's weird. I don't get it. It's cringy, yeah, and it adds no value. It pisses the fans off, and but bottom line is, yeah, the people who have supported you, it takes the piss out of them, yeah, because we're invested into this sport with or without you. So don't play these weird games. Either commit to it or don't, or drop it completely. But to sit in the cut, and still, people, don't forget, he is technically, if he's really retired, why is he holding the belt up? For all we know, if Fury goes out of the way, Wilder will be much more incentivized to come back, and we can have Wilder versus Joe Joyce. Who doesn't want to see that fight? I do. Or even, to be honest with you, even Wilder versus Bumillion. Who wouldn't want to see who wouldn't want to see Dillian White get knocked sparked out? Who wouldn't right now want to see Dillian White get knocked spark out again by Deontay Wilder in the UK? I mean, that fight for sure sells out the O2. I reckon it probably sells 40, 50,000. Who knows? It might even do 70k at cheap tickets. Yeah? I want to see that. But again, Tyson Fury hanging onto the belt if he is allegedly retired, which I don't think he is, but him holding at the belt, why do that? Let the sport move on. And Fury's a historian himself of the sport. So why would you, if you are genuinely retired, which you've just come out and shot Bob Arum down, so Tyson Fury just told us he's adamantly retired. So why are you ruining the sport for? Let's not forget, people, Tyson Fury is already relatively an inactive champion. I think the average fight time's like once every 14 months. So the heavyweight sport now don't need no more time of inactivity and waiting. And realistically, yeah, if he is waiting to fight AJ versus Usyk winner, that's not going to be until he will have probably not have fought for another year, won't it? Let's be real now. AJ and Usyk, in my opinion, I mean, AJ just said, Eddie Hearn said, oh, it's going to be August now, but AJ just come out in his last interview and said, oh, well, yeah, Eddie Hearn told you it's been delayed from July to August, but it's probably going to be another delay. And I've heard on the grapevine that basically AJ and Eddie Hearn are going to run this right to the 1 year rematch clause date. Now they fought on September 24th or something, so you best believe that's when the fight's going to happen. So if AJ and, let's say best case scenario, AJ and Usyk fight in September, guess what? We know no Fury and AJ or Usyk fight's going to be done in a month, is it? And even if it was done in a month, even if AJ and Usyk win the year, got done within a month, that would put us in middle of October, at best. And then the fight ain't going to be then, is it? It's going to be another 3-4 months down the line. So at best, we're looking at March. Realistically, AJ and Usyk winner is going to, especially if it's AJ and Usyk winner will swan around for 3 months. Or even if it's Usyk, to be honest, given his political and geopolitical stuff going on with him, he's probably going to want to break and want to go and take some photos or whatever. Or, do you know what I'm saying? Do his PR bit back in the Ukraine. So he ain't going to say, yeah, I'm straight on it now. So either way, you can forget the rest of the year. AJ and Usyk fight in September, yeah? Forget about Usyk or AJ even entertaining negotiations until the start of the new year, 2023. And that means the fight ain't happening until June. June 2023 is when, or Q2 2023 is when the most likely time for the Undisputed is. Which means Tyson Fury fought in, when did he fight? Was it March or April? So he would have been out for another year, assuming he's coming back. So if he's not coming back, let the belt go and let the sport move on. Yeah? And that's what I'm saying. A whole lot of it, it's a real shame. We've lost so much of the pizzazz has been lost unnecessarily. Yeah? Bottom line is, Deontay Wilder ducked AJ back in 2017. That fight could have happened. DAZN offered record money. DAZN offered Deontay Wilder, $20 million to fight Dominic Bumzeel. That's honestly, that is one of the most egregious managing flops I've ever heard about. Genuinely. Wilder's team were offered 20 million to fight Brazil and then 120 million for a 2-fight deal against AJ. Wow. Wow. Yeah? Wilder didn't make $20 million to fight Fury. That's how mad it was. And Wilder at the time said, oh, well, I don't like the way Eddie Hearn disrespect me. What? You're making 140 million about disrespect. So the bottom line is, the proof shows and I think Wilder would beat AJ, but it's irrelevant now. The point is, whatever way you like it, Wilder ducked AJ for whatever reason you want to talk about it. That's the bottom line. He ducked it. Yeah? Facts. That's what happened. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be the first. You man should know by now. If it was the other way, I'll be the first one to say, you best believe AJ's back end's been dropping. But like I said, to be fair to AJ, when he was relatively on top, when he had the belts, he was a perfect. Well, not. He still was pretty inactive compared to what Canelo's doing. He should be more active, but still, he was. I haven't seen. No one's really showed me examples of AJ going out of his way to fight bums. I haven't seen that. AJ hasn't had any of the Wallin or Schwartz fights or Panini fights. He hasn't had them. He hasn't had any of the Dominic Brazil ones. AJ's had, and I'm not saying, you man know me, I think Pulev's old as you like. But still, they're top bum guy, top old bums. Yeah, Pulev, Povetkin, they're all the old. And let's not forget, Dillian White got his pack smoked by one of the old bums. Hughie Fury got his pack smoked by Pulev, smoked by Povetkin. So it's not as if the guys, yeah, they're not top level, but AJ did his thing. He was genuinely trying to fight Fury. He was genuinely trying to fight Wilder. That's what the history books will say. Facts. When AJ was champion, he did want to fight Fury. He did want to fight Wilder. He didn't hold the fans hostage and say, oh, well, I've won the belts, but I'm really retired now, so I'm just going to sit here and hold the belts up and let no one else fight for them and be half in the sport, half out the sport and just trying to keep. And that's the thing you man know, I've really come round back to Fury again. Initially, back in 2013, I was a big Fury fan. Yeah? Then I started jumping on AJ's bandwagon. Now I'm back half on the Fury bandwagon, but what I'm not going to do, I've never been no man fan. In as much as me and a lot of other people, yeah, are more than happy to get behind Fury and want to see his growth in this sport. But it's impossible to do that. You can't get behind this. I've heard people say things like, oh, YB, I don't care what he does. He's earned the right. No, he hasn't earned the right. He hasn't earned the right to hold things up and just take the piss. Yeah, if you're gone, go. If you're not, make it clear and say, and that's what I said from the jump. Tyson Fury, back in the day, was on it. And yeah, like I said, people mature, but still, he should be out here now, riding that wave of success, riding that wave of improvement. He should be out here louder than ever saying, listen, I'm the baddest dude. Retire for what? Yeah, there's too many. Listen, would you retire if you saw a bunch of prime 21-year-old booty in the air? Yeah, blonde, I've got a blonde thing there, I've got a yellow bone there, I've got a red bone there, I've got a ginger thing there. You best believe they're all getting poked. That's what I'll be saying. I'll be saying, listen, it would be ungodly for me to leave all this fresh booty. Yeah? Simple as that. Super illegal. Yeah, super ungodly, super unjustly. I must poke it all. Yeah, all this fresh booty must get wicked. That's what he should be saying. Instead, oh, well, I'm actually retired. What? Dead. Don't make no, and I'm dead. I don't know who. Oh, no one's advising him because Bob Arum's already said he wants him coming back, but I don't know what this. Clearly there's something going on in Fury's bonds, but I don't know. I don't understand. It's almost like he wants. Oh, please stay. Please don't go. That's almost what. But I don't get that. You don't need. You've already got the people on your side. I get it. Back in 2015, yeah, Fury wanted to be wanted, and Fury and his dad have vocalised this. Fury and his dad back in 2015, bottom line, were jealous of AJ. I've heard John Fury say things like, "Oh well, if AJ had beat Vlad in thing, they'd have rolled out the red carpet for him, and the Queen would have done this and would have done that." It's bottom line, Fury and whatever way you look at it, Tyson and John have been jealous of some of the accolades AJ got. If you look at history, you know that's what the facts are. Whether you like it or not, they felt some sort of way, and that was half of the reason. Fury felt some type of way because he wasn't being sucked off like AJ got sucked off. Fair play. But now it's clear you're leagues above AJ. but you're still stuck in that 2015 mindset of wanting people to want you. Oh, I want to be wanted. That is a need that a lot of people feel, but you've got it all anyway. You've got a beautiful family, beautiful wife, loads of money. It's like you should be thinking about the more higher levels of needs being met now. That's some basic looking ass needs. Yeah? Now you should be out here, as I explained, looking to wick and riding that. Your skills are getting better exponentially. Your name's getting bigger exponentially. Why ain't there? You should be giving it the hammer exponentially. Instead, we get no game. Fury ain't been. When was the last time we saw Fury dropping game? It's been about a year. All he does now is, oh, Dillian's my best friend and I really care. What? Dead, man. Dead. And to some extent, really, if Fury wants to go then. I'd rather him stay. I'd rather him be on it, but I can't be dealing with this. And I guess it's not, oh, IB, what are you really... Yeah, I'm not actually practically dealing with anything, but you know what I'm saying? This is not the look for me. It's not the look. And I'm not asking him to be a model champion who needs to be in a box like Mr. Johnston, but AJ, it was clear. He'd be training and looking to fight at least someone in the top 3. Really, from what AJ's shown, he would have fought the top 1 every time. That's what AJ's shown. Now, he didn't have no mouth, which used to piss me off, but Fury has shown great potential. Well, he has great mouth. He has great chat. It's like it's gone backwards. He's got to the top and he wants to go change his... It's like Fury's almost turned into AJ in that sense. All of a sudden, he's got no mouth. All of a sudden, he wants to be everyone's friend. Yeah? Super weird. And again... this whole retirement shtick of, oh, I'm really away. What? I'd love to understand what that's doing. Can someone explain? What angle is he getting at here? Because for all you goobers saying, oh, IB, leave him alone, he's retired. Listen to the man. Well, why? If that's the case, drop the belts and let people move on. Yeah? That's the bottom line here. Fury, you said you care about the sport. You say the sport give you everything. If you're really gone, go. Yeah? And let the whole sport move on for the better, towards the future. Joe Joyce, I mean, he's old, but still. Joyce versus Wilder, barn burner. I'd love to see that. And that's the thing, I think Wilder can win most of these fights. Because Joe Joyce is slow, and for all we know, that big bomb from Wilder, big sloppy bomb, ends up on the right end of Joyce's bonds. And we'll see how great Joyce's chin is. But these are all things, all questions. If Fury keeps stringing it, and it's just, to be honest with you, it's disappointing that the WBC is prepared to be a sideman. They should say to Fury, listen, man, you've spent a lot of time. Again, people, don't forget, it's not like, well, IB, Fury's been giving us back-to-back fights for years and let him have a break. I'd get that completely, honestly. I really would. But don't forget, he fought once in 2020 against Wilder in February. He then fought once again 18 months later in October 2021. Yeah, 18 months he had that belt, and it wasn't because of C19. He ended up, Wilder had to take him to court to get his rematch. 18 months the belt was out of thing. And in fact, even before that, Wilder fought Fury, yeah? Or Fury fought Wilder in December 2018. Fury had no significant fights for 18 months, from December 2018 to February 2020. Pretty much 18 months out of the way. Fury had no significance. You know what I mean? 18 months between fights. Then again, from February 2020 to October 2021, another 18 months with one significant fight. And then we went from... Well, yeah, I guess he's just got semi-active. He just had one fight in 6 months, which is what I call semi-active. Yeah? But for the last 3 years, he's had... Yeah, literally, the last 3.5 years, he's had 3 fights. And now people want to sit on the side, do some more waiting, and they ain't got no time to be waiting. And that's why the UFC's thriving. Because the UFC, never mind every 18 months, UFC putting on guys... Well, really, you get banging fights every month, at least. Certainly every quarter you get something to talk about. These times, every year you'd be lucky to get something to talk about. No. Yeah, there's so much, but no, there's not a load of potential, but trust me, there's more potential than this. There's more potential than sitting there waiting to see what Tyson Fury can do if he doesn't want to be involved. He's got great talent, he's getting better, and he wants to take that and pretend he's played a weird, I want you to love me game. Please love me. Wow, dead. Dead motive. Of all the motives he might want to have, this is the deadest one, in my opinion. Dead. Yeah, 100%. Spoiling, killing, for me, killing the whole vibe. I want to be behind the energy. I want to be behind the wave, riding the wave. Yeah. I want Fury to be out here, making his intentions clear on this thing. Yeah, looking for smoke. Or not. Like I said, or not. We'll just leave, innit? And be gone. These WBC goofazoids need to get some backbone and say, listen, Fury, man, yeah, I'm great. I'm happy that you want to play around on social media and pretend you're in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But we're a governing body and we're going to govern. Yeah, there's plenty of up-and-comers. I don't even think they're that good, but still, that's what makes it worse. Like I said, the up-and-comers aren't even no good and still Fury's trying to play games. Anyway, you heard the chat there, no doubt, 100%.